This is Richard Clarke. Today I'll read from and comment on Chapter 1, verses 36 to 39 about the one Brahman. Also, there are inquiries to deepen your experience of these verses. Verse 36, I eat, I give, I act. Such statements do not apply to Atman, which is purity, birthless, and imperishable. 37. Where the one Brahman alone is, how can it be said, this is Maya, by which the phenomenal world has been brought into existence? Or, this is not Maya, this is shadow, or this is not shadow. 38. I am without beginning and without end. Never was I bound. By nature pure, taintless is myself. This I know for sure. 39. From subtle substance, mahat, down to formed creation, there is nothing but Brahman. Most clearly do I see this. Where then is the division of caste? My comments. Advaita Vedanta teaches the non-dual nature of reality, asserting that the individual soul, the Atman, is identical to the ultimate reality, Brahman. The Avadhut Gita is a sacred text within the Advaita tradition, attributed to Dattatreya, the primordial sage, and it contains profound teachings on non-duality and the nature of the self. Let's dive into these verses. Verse 36, I eat, I give, I act. Such statements do not apply to Atman, which is purity, birthless, and imperishable. In verse 36, the Avadhut Gita emphasizes non-duality. The verse highlights that the individual actions and experiences associated with the body and mind, such as eating, giving, and acting, do not pertain to the true self, to Atman. Atman is pure, beyond birth and death, and immutable. It's not subject to any changes or modifications that affect the physical body or the mind. Atman knows the body, but is not touched by it. This teaching is in line with the Advaita tradition and perspective that the true self is distinct from the temporary and ever-changing aspects of the material world. Inquire. The body eats, gives, and acts. Am I the body? Not the body. Are its actions my own? Verse 37, where the one Brahman alone is, how can it be said, this is Maya, by which the phenomenal world has been brought into existence? Or, this is not Maya, this is shadow, or this is not shadow. Verse 37 emphasizes the non-dual nature of Brahman, the ultimate reality. Advaita Vedanta says that Brahman is the only true existence, and that the entire phenomenal world including the concept of Maya, illusion, emerges from Brahman itself. There is no alternative to Brahman. Therefore, there is no separate entity apart from Brahman that can be termed as Maya or not Maya. The verse rejects any attempt to label aspects of reality as illusory, as shadow, or real, not shadow, because everything ultimately is Brahman, making all distinctions illusory in the absolute sense. Brahman is real. Everything within Brahman shares its reality. Inquire, are work and play different? Is Maya different from Brahman? Are you different from Brahman? Verse 38, I am without beginning and without end. Never was I bound. By nature pure, taintless is myself. This I know for sure. Verse 38 reiterates the timeless and unlimited nature of the self, the Atman. The true self is beyond time and space, beyond notions of birth or death. It has never been bound by the limitations of the physical world or the cycle of birth and rebirth. The self is inherently pure and untainted by any imperfections or impurities of the material realm. You know this true self by direct knowledge, as affirmed in this verse. This is what you are certain of. Inquire, where do you start? Can you find a limit, an edge to your consciousness, to your being? Where do you end? Verse 38, from subtle substance, mahat, down to formed creation, there is nothing but Brahman. Most clearly do I see this. Where then is the division of caste? Verse 39 underscores the unity of all existence in Brahman, as Brahman. Mahat refers to the cosmic intellect or universal mind, considered the first principle of creation in some schools of thought. The verse proclaims that from the highest, most subtle aspects of creation to the manifested and formed aspects, everything is nothing but Brahman. There is only Brahman. This realization leads to the understanding that there is no fundamental vision or distinction in existence, including social constructs like caste or rank. No differences is a fundamental element of Advaita. As absolute truth, all apparent differences dissolve, and everything is recognized as an appearance of the same underlying reality, Brahman. Inquire, are you one or many? Since you are one, Is the one divided? These verses from the Avadhut Gita reflect the core teachings of Advaita Vedanta, emphasizing the non-dual nature of reality, the ultimate purity and timelessness of the self, the Atman, and the all-encompassing unity of Brahman in everything. Ramana Maharshi expounded similar teachings during his life, promoting self-inquiry and realization of the true self as the key to spiritual liberation. So inquire, know yourself, and be always free and at peace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this Ramana Maharshi video, subscribe, like, and send me a comment.